So welcome back guys to this session of theory of machines, and in the previous session I already told you some introduction and content part of the theory of machines. Now we are going to start with the very first topic, that is simple mechanism, and I already told you that that is a very interesting chapter and definitely it is important also, and this is a chapter which is having a weightage of 2 marks minimum, and my dear, every year question comes from this. And my dear, when we are talking about simple mechanism, the word simple basically is used whenever something comes for the first time. For example, my dear, the very first type of harmonic motion was given the name of simple harmonic motion. The very first type of gear train was given the name of simple gear train. So my dear, similarly for the very first time when the mechanism came, those mechanism which were the first mechanism, initial phase mechanism, were given the name of simple mechanism. So my dear, here simple refers to the very first thing. So my dear, when we are talking about simple mechanisms, we will reach, but before that we need to discuss regarding some basic terms like kinematic links, then pairs, then after pairs we'll go to definitely that mechanism part, and before mechanism we will go to basically chains, and then we will go to machine. So my dear, first let us discuss kinematic link or element. So the very first heading is kinematic link or element. When we are talking about kinematic link or element, my dear, every part of a machine or a mechanism, if it is in relative motion with respect to some other part, is said to be a kinematic link or element. What I told you is, every part of a machine or mechanism which is in a relative motion with respect to some other part is said to be a kinematic link or element. So my dear, for any element to be kinematic link, only relative motion is the possibility. Relative motion should be there. If relative motion is there, we can name it as a kinematic link. When I am saying relative motion, my dear, there are two types of motion we generally deal with. One is absolute motion, other is relative motion. Let us say, my dear, I am moving in this direction with 10 meters per second, and you are moving in the same direction with 20 meters per second. What I feel is, when I will be looking at you, I will feel that you are going with 10 meters per second. Why? Because your velocity is 20, my velocity is 10. So relative to me, you are moving with 10 meters per second. So my dear, I will feel that you are moving with 10 meters per second in forward direction, in this direction. So such kind of velocity is known as, such kind of motion is known as relative motion. But when I am talking about absolute motion, let us say I am at rest. You are moving with the same 20, then what I will feel is you are moving with 20 meters per second, that is absolute velocity. So my dear, when I am talking about kinematic link or element, for anything to be a kinematic link or element, for any part of a machine to be a kinematic link or element, relative motion should be there, absolute motion may or may not be there. For example, my dear, when we are talking about a lathe machine, lathe bed is a fixed. You have never seen that lathe beds are moving in the lab. No. So my dear, lathe bed is fixed, but my dear, when you will be looking at the lathe bed from the chuck, when you will be sitting at the chuck which is itself moving, so my dear, then you will feel that lathe bed is not fixed element. So my dear, for any part to be a kinematic link or element, relative motion should be there. If my dear, relative motion is not there, then we cannot say it is a separate link. For example, let us say I am taking an example. Let us say my hand is there. You know there is relative motion between these two parts is possible. So if the relative motion is possible between these two parts, so my dear, this is a separate link, this is a separate link. But suppose if road is there, you know, if road is there, I will not be able to move my hand like this. So my dear, in that case, there is no relative motion between these two, and they both will become a single link. So my dear, for any part of a mechanism or a machine to be a kinematic link or element, relative motion is a must condition. So my dear, any fixed part can also be considered as a kinematic link or element, because relative motion is the condition, absolute motion is not at all the condition. And my dear, one more thing is written in the every textbook of theory of machines, that when we are talking about kinematic link or element, that kinematic link or element may or may not be rigid, but it must be a resistant body. My dear, it may or may not be rigid, but it must be resistant body. When I am talking about rigid means there is no deformation on the application of forces. So a kinematic link may not be rigid. Rigidness is not the condition which should be there, which always should be there, or which is a must condition. No, it may or may not be rigid, but my dear, it must be a resistant body. So my dear, when we are talking about resistant means to show some resistance in any terms, that is known as a resistant body. So what I told you is kinematic link or element may or may not be rigid, but it must be resistant. When I am talking about resistant, so my dear, if some body is resistant, then only it can transmit some power. I am going to show you the same thing with an example. For आपने mechanism, you have definitely seen one mechanism known as simple four-bar mechanism. Definitely, I have not taught you yet this mechanism, but I am going to teach you in the next session. But before going to that, this is a kind of mechanism, simple four-bar mechanism, where this is link number 1, this is link number 2, this is link number 3, and this is link number 4. And my dear, let us say you are applying some torque on this link number 2, and on applying this torque, link number 2, then definitely it will give some effect to link number 3, and let us say link number 3 gets distorted like this. And my dear, if this link number 3 gets deformed, it simply means that link number 3 is not at all a rigid body. So I will say it is not at all a rigid body. So when I am talking about link number 3, that is not rigid. So my dear, when I am applying again some torque, let us say I am again applying some torque, and my dear, after again applying some torque, this body gets deformed more. Means it was having a capability of deform more and more. Again I am applying the same thing and it gets deformed, and after one time it got fractured. And my dear, it got fractured, but it is not able to transmit the same torque or power which I am giving at link 2 to link number 4. So my dear, I will say it is not at all a resistant body, because when I am talking about resistant, it shall transmit the torque or power to the other links. If it is not capable of that, it is not at all a link. So it is not resistant, and my dear, hence it is not at all a link. But my dear, at the same time, let us suppose the case would have been this. This is the same mechanism, and in this same mechanism, what I am going to do is, first of all, let us say I am applying some torque. After applying some torque, it gets deformed. So if it is deformed, it is not rigid, that is for sure. But once again, when I applied the torque, then now after a small deformation, now it is not capable of deforming more, and as I am applying the torque, it is transmitting the torque to the other element. Means after deforming to small amount, then it is transmitting the power. In that case, my dear, it is yes resistant, and if it is resistant, definitely it is going to be a link. So my dear, for to be a link, it should be resistant, it may or may not be rigid. But my dear, it is not like this kind of case is also possible. Let us say you are applying some torque, and after applying the torque, this time this link is not a link which is getting deformed, it is a rigid link this time. And my dear, just see, as you will be applying the torque, the same torque, the torque that will be supplied by this link number 3 to the link number 4, and this is known as transmitting of power or transmitting of torque. And when it will be getting transmitted in terms of torque or power, then my dear, I will say it is rigid or resistant, and as it is resistant, it is going to be a link. So my dear, for a link, resistant is the desired condition. Rigidity is not at all the desired condition. It may or may not be rigid, but it must be a resistant body. Now my dear, as I already told you that the first 2 hours of this subject are going to be theoretical. After that, it becomes a very, very important and interesting subject. So for that time, definitely I am going to discuss some interview questions, so that you will feel whatever we are going to discuss, how these things can be asked in the interviews. So my dear, sometimes this question is asked. They say that it is a cylindrical disc, and they say this is another cylindrical disc, and these two cylindrical discs are connected with a rubber band. It is connected with a rubber band. This is the rubber band. This is a cylindrical disc. This is a cylindrical disc. So my dear, if these two are cylindrical discs, then I am saying that this is rubber band. So the question is this rigid, rubber band is a kinematic link or not? My dear, I have already told you, rigid means basically the bodies for which when forces are applied, deformations are not there. And I have also given an example before that if there is a spring and we are applying the force F, K is the stiffness, we will be writing F equals to K into X. So K is F by X. And if I say that spring is a rigid body, deformation will become 0, and if X is 0, K will become infinite. In other words, here this link number 3 is a body with stiffness infinite, whereas these two bodies are having the stiffness is finite. So my dear, rigid means infinite stiffness. So my dear, it is asked generally that rubber band is a kinematic link or it is not a kinematic link. My dear, when such kind of things are asked that rubber band is a kinematic link or not a kinematic link, then my dear, generally students got confused. They say that it's a rubber band, how can it transmit the power? When I am saying it is link or not, you just need to think about whether the power is transmitting from this to this or not. You know, when I am saying it is to be a kinematic link, it means that if I am rotating this cylindrical disc, then rubber band must be able to able to transmit this to this disc. If it is capable, then it is a kinematic link. Otherwise, it is not at all a kinematic link, my dear. And my dear, this is the criteria. Then we shall think whether this should be or not. So in general, students say, sir, how rubber band can transmit the power? Rubber band is a deformable body. Yes, rubber band is not at all rigid, but I already told you, rigidness is not the condition. Then some students generally say rubber band cannot be a link. And my dear, some student may say rubber band may be a link. So but I will be saying that in general, more than 90% of students will answer that the rubber band cannot act like a link, because in some textbook it is also written. So I would like to tell you, my dear, that rubber band will be a link or will not be a link. That will depend more upon the cylindrical disc. Let us say I am going to give you an example. There was a time when we were using some tape recorder to listen the songs, and some audio cassettes were there, and some reel was there that was basically rotating on such kind of two small cylindrical discs. And my dear, what happens is, we generally, when we start the tape recorder play button, when we push it, then it rotates this part. And my dear, that black reel goes to this part, and automatically this also rotates, and power gets transmitted at that time when we listen the songs on those audio cassettes. So my dear, at that time, those reels were very thin, and you know rubber band is much better than that. So those reels were capable of transmitting the power from this to this. So they were acting like a link. So my dear, if that can act like a link, definitely rubber band can also act like a link after small deformations. Definitely, my dear. But at the same time, if I am saying that these cylindrical discs are not those small discs which were present in the audio cassettes, if I am saying these cylindrical discs are the road rollers, so my dear, at that time, if you are going to join two road rollers with the rubber band, my dear, definitely rubber band is not at all capable of transmitting the power from one road roller to the another. Definitely, my dear, it is going to be impossible. So whether rubber band will act like a kinematic link or not, that more depends upon the inertia of the cylindrical disc. So my dear, the inertia of the cylindrical disc will decide whether that rubber band is going to act like a link or not. So it will be decided by that inertia of the cylindrical disc. So my dear, such kind of questions may be asked in the interviews, and they are already asked in many interviews. That's why I am discussing here these things. And my dear, this was just an introduction. Let us see some other parts, some other things. So let us see the classification of various types of kinematic links with the example, and then we are going to see what are the types of relative motion, as I mentioned you, what kinematic link or element is. Let us see. So my dear, let us see the types of links. The very first type of link is rigid link. When I am talking about rigid link, they are the links in which deformations are either not there or they are negligible. They are so negligible that they cannot be seen from the naked eyes. So my dear, as in material science, I told you that the minimum what we can see from the naked eyes is 0.5 mm. So either deformations are not there or they are so negligible that we cannot see from the naked eyes. And my dear, in this category, the types of links are, the examples are crank, connecting rod, piston, cylinder, etc. There are many. And by the second type of link, that is flexible link. When we are talking about flexible link, they are the links in which my dear, deformations are feasible. Deformations are there, but my dear, they are in permissible ranges. They are not like that anything can be the deformation. No, deformations are there, but in a very limited range, like 2 mm, 3 mm, 4 mm, 5 mm, 7 mm. So some small deformations are permissible, permitted, but after that the link will be capable of transmitting the power, as we have seen that example also. So flexible example consists of rope drive, belt drive, chain drive, etc. So these are the example of flexible links in general. My dear, the third is fluid link. Sometimes, because of its property pressure, fluid may act like a link. Transmitting power to be resistant it is a condition for anything to be a link. So, for the very first time when we were in 6th standard, we have seen and we were very happy at that day when we were capable of knowing that by applying a small force we can pull a car, and such kind of thing is feasible only because of that pressure of the fluid, pressure of the liquid. So hydraulic ram, hydraulic brake, hydraulic jack, hydraulic intensifier, all such kind of hydraulic devices except hydraulic turbine because their principle is different. So my dear, all those devices like hydraulic brakes, hydraulic ram, hydraulic intensifiers, hydraulic jacks, all these things having the application where fluid is acting like a link. So my dear, here fluid is acting like a link. The reason is the property pressure. As I already told you, in turbines, the application, the principles are different. They are not having this principle. So that's why I have given the exception that except to that. So all other devices which are related to hydraulic pressure, and my dear, their fluid is acting like a link. Now let us discuss the types of relative motion. Let us see. So my dear, the next is types of relative motions. As I already told you, for any part of a machine or mechanism to be a kinematic link or element, it must be in relative motion with respect to some other part. So when we are talking about the relative motions, there are three types of relative motions. The very first type is completely constrained. Second is successfully constrained. Third is unconstrained. So when I am talking about constraint means restricted motion or desired. Constraint means restricted or desired. For example, my dear, I would like to tell you, when we are talking about theory of machines has only one work, to give the mechanisms on which the machines can work. The machines like drilling machine, milling, shaper, planer, all those machines which we study in production technology or manufacturing sciences, the working of those machines based on some mechanisms. Those mechanisms are designed by theory of machines. So my dear, theory of machines has a target to give some mechanism on which the machines can be made. And you know, in machine, if let us say this is workpiece and we want to perform a turning operation, you know that tool shall move like this and workpiece shall rotate like this. If the tool movement is not this but become this, the operation becomes parting off. So my dear, the meaning is there is only one desired motion of tool is required to perform some operation in the manufacturing or machining processes. If that motion is not restricted in other directions, then the process name may differ, the product may become may become faulty. So if you don't want such kind of things, definitely we want a desired motion. So I need to get a desired motion. Let us say there are many possibilities of tool to move. So to get one desired motion, you need to lock other. You need to lock other devices. You need to lock other motions. When you will be doing that, then and only then you can have one constrained motion. So to get one constrained motion, other motions must be restricted. So my dear, for example, you might have faced that thing when you were preparing for IIT JEE. So there were a large number of options with us. We may go for watching serials, we may go for playing cricket, and we may go for study something. And my dear, our parents were restricting all other motions because they want us to be in good IITs or NITs so that we can achieve our goals of life. So they have basically restricted other motions so that we can concentrate on only one. So my dear, such kind of things we are going to do in this theory of machine when we are talking about constrained motion. Constrained means restricted. If you want a desired output for an input, you need to constrain, you need to restrict other motions, then and only then you can get that desired motion. So my dear, constrained means desired. When I am talking about completely constrained, you have seen when we were preparing for IIT JEE, there were many students in our group, there were many people. When we are talking about those, they were studying all the times, Whenever they are having time, they were not having any other task. They have only one thing, that they only study, study and study. Means their system configuration does not allow anything except study. So for such student, there was no need to say पढ़ ले. There was no need to anything. So for that purpose, for those such kind of students, their system configuration was not allowing anything else. Means they were having only one thing to do, that is study. And when they were doing that study, so my dear, definitely they have performed well, that because of their study. So what I want to tell you is, completely constrained means if system configuration does not allow any other kind of motions. Means if other motions are not possible. Means let us say I do not like watching TV, I do not like playing cricket, I only like one thing, that is study, and that is going to give me whatever I want to do. So definitely my dear, for such conditions, systems are known as completely constrained, because system configuration is not allowing any other kind of motion. So there is no need for restrictions. For example, let us say my dear, we are having a square hole. Here some square hole is there, and if I am going to make the cross section of this square hole, this is cross section, this is square hole. And in this square hole, if I am going to put a square shaft, if I am going to put a square shaft in this square hole, this is a square shaft. If a square shaft in square hole is there, then my dear, you know, when a shaft is present in hole, there are two kind of possibilities of motion. One is rotation, other is reciprocation. But a square shaft in square hole cannot rotate. So my dear, out of two, only one motion is possible, that is reciprocation. Rotation is not possible. So my dear, when rotation is not possible, only reciprocation is possible. Such kind of motion is completely constrained motion. Means there is no possibility of other motions, so we need not to restrict anything. And my dear, the same kind of thing you can have when we are having a shaft. Let us say this is a shaft, this is a circular shaft. And this circular shaft, when we were having, we have made two collars over this. Collars are just the plates which are getting welded over there. So my dear, let us say we are having two plates which are welded on this shaft. They are known as collar. Now shaft is circular, but it is with collars. And let us say before making the collars, we have enclosed it in a circular hole. Now my dear, when a circular shaft is in circular hole, definitely there are two possibilities, that this shaft may rotate and the shaft may reciprocate. But because of the presence of collar, now it cannot reciprocate, it can only rotate. So my dear, motion is constrained, and that is constrained because of collars. Collars are the part of shaft once they get welded. So my dear, once again, system configuration is not allowing any other kind of motions. When system configuration does not allow any other kind of motion, such conditions are known as completely constrained motions. So my dear, this motion is an example of completely constrained because there is no possibility of any other kind of motion. So when there is no possibility, then there is no need of restrictions. Now we are talking about successfully constrained. When we are talking about successfully constrained, it means that motions are possible. More than one motions are possible. So we need to restrict some other forces, some other motions, so that only one motion is possible. The example is footstep bearing. Let us say, my dear, we are having an example of footstep bearing. This is the bearing surface. This is also known as pivot bearing. So this is bearing surface basically, and along with the friction lining, bearing surface are present. And in this bearing surface, we are having a shaft. And this shaft is having friction surface here. And my dear, now there are two possibilities with this shaft and this bearing. The shaft may reciprocate and shaft may rotate. Within these two possibilities, when we are talking about, my dear, then we are applying a force like this. Because of this force, now the reciprocation of shaft is not possible. If the reciprocation of shaft is not possible, now shaft can only be rotated. And my dear, when the shaft can only be rotated, now the shaft can only rotate, the motion again becomes constrained. But this time this constrained motion is because of external force, so it is known as successfully constrained motion. So it is completely because of system configuration, it is by external force successfully. For example, there were some students which generally have many options like going to play cricket, means they were not happily studying. Then in that case, our parents scold us and they seriously do something for us so that we can study, and because of that we were capable of studying. So for such cases, when successfully constrained means forcefully constrained. In other words, जब जबरदस्ती किसी से कुछ कहा जाए. So forcefully when things are done, they comes under successfully constrained. One more simple example I will be giving here, that when we were in childhood, we have seen one thing that sometimes we go to doctors and their injections were there. So in injection you have seen there were two kind of motion possible. Some cylindrical element was there and some piston type element was there. And doctor can have two types of motion. One is rotating that piston into the cylinder. Other motion is this, to inject the medicine. Is it okay or not? So my dear, these two motions were possible, but doctor always go for this motion. He never goes for this motion. So that is a successfully constrained. Possibilities were there, but he was going for one motion, so it is successfully constrained motion. Now I am talking about unconstrained. If I am talking about unconstrained, then unconstrained means there is a circular shaft in a circular hole. Now in a circular shaft is there in circular hole, reciprocation is possible as well as rotation is also possible. So if both possibilities are there, the motion is said to be unconstrained. In other words, if the motion is not constrained, it is unconstrained. So my dear, they are the things related to kinematic link, types of links. Now types of relative motion. Now we move on to the next topic, that is basically kinematic pair, and then slowly we will come to mechanism. चलिए देखते हैं आगे. Let us see.